Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tracy Creamer with NOLA. I'm the Education Manager, and welcome to the NOLA Leadership Panel. We're glad you're all here to ask questions of our leadership that's coming up on stage to respond to your questions. We'd like to ask you, since this is a virtual session where we've got a lot of members and non-members alike watching this virtually that will also have questions, if you would please put your questions in the app. That way, and I'll give them to all of the people that we're asking questions from and put them up on the screen, and then everyone will be able to hear the questions or see the questions and get equal opportunities to ask. Also, I'd like to ask the panel if you would repeat the questions when you see them up there for our virtual audience so that they know what the questions were. So that being said, we're ready to get started with the panel, and I'm going to turn it on over to Vinny and Debbie. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. I'll get it started, Deb. You're good. Oh, that's why you're getting up. She's not getting up to help me. Just kidding.
Team effort.
Yep, it absolutely is. I just need to switch over to our PowerPoint. Thank you for your patience. Okay. So this really is, as Tracy said, an opportunity for you folks to ask us questions. We are not up here to speak a long time. We know we pump out a lot of content, and that's because we're doing a lot of stuff, and sometimes it's hard to keep up. We have a hard time keeping up, so I can imagine a member. So what we like to do during this point of the conference is to bring up our leadership team or several members of our leadership team, and they're going to highlight some key things over the last year that they've been working within their committees, and that then gives you an opportunity to learn a little bit more and hopefully spawn some more questions. But even if you have questions totally unrelated to things that have been brought up, any questions from anybody about what's going on at NOLA, this is the time to do it. So take advantage of that. As Tracy said, we are using the Q&A feature in the app. Again, that's so that everybody can hear and see the questions and make sure that they understand the answers that come from that question. Okay, so on our panel today, we have Deborah L. Overstreet, ACP Board President. Next to her is Christine Custodio-Suero, ACP. She's the chair of our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. Next to her is Dina Waters, and she's the chair of our Continuing Education Council, the CEC. And I was wait, who is next to her? That's Kelly. Kelly Elder, ACP, is the chair of the Professional Development Committee, which is the PDC. And then last but not least is Lisa Stone, ACP, and she's the just exited chair of the certifying board. So she was the chair this past term, so that's why she is up here fielding your questions today as well. Okay, so I'm going to start with just a couple of quick highlights on the association side. What's very cool about your association is that you have this amazing team. You heard Deb list off all the people who are engaged in a volunteer basis to make this association what it is. They are the dreamers, truly, just as Deb says. And none of this happens without these leaders, without the volunteers here. So they're going to be talking about the pieces that they manage as volunteer leaders. We on the staff side, we're the ones that implement, and we're very clear between the board and the staff roles. And so we don't get bogged down with who's doing what, because we understand fully whose task is what. So I'm going to just quickly talk about some of the association and program highlights. It's a little bit more from an operational perspective, and then that's when I'll turn it over to the other fine folks who are on the panel. Okay, so I just have a couple of things I want to highlight because, again, we really do want to hear questions from you. You may start putting in questions now, whether you're here live or whether you're here in person or virtually. You can start putting questions in. Again, anything you want to know about NOLA, we are here. We are completely transparent. So I'm going to highlight just a couple of things. We have really stepped up on the social media side and the video and communication through virtual methods. And so one of the things that I really want to bring your attention to from this last year is our YouTube channel. If you have not been to our YouTube channel for a while, I really encourage you to go check it out. We have playlists. I don't know how many are familiar with YouTube, but you can set playlists, that are by different topics and things like that. So don't assume that those videos that just pop up randomly when you go to the page. Go look at those playlists. You'll see a bundle for the CP videos that were discussed this morning. You'll see some from, now I'm drawing a total blank, from us. The board candidates, for example. So you will find those in those playlists. So I really encourage you to go to YouTube. All you have to do is search for NALA the Para, and it'll come up. NALA the Paralegal Association, and it will come up. So please do explore that. Related to that too is Commons. Does anybody here not know what Commons is? Or maybe let me do it the other way. Who knows what Commons is? Let's do that. I don't want to call people out. Okay, so that is our collaborative social site for NALA members, and it is only NALA members who are a part of it. It is a safe place for you as members to converse with each other and to ask questions. You can do polling, you can do posts. There's all kinds of things that you can do in that collaborative site that, again, is just for members. So none of your bosses are looking at it, none of your family or friends are looking at it. And it's really a great place for you to connect with others all across the country doing your work. You access Commons through our homepage. So when you log on to the main page, at the top right, you're going to see Commons. There's like three things across the top, and Commons, just plain old Commons. You're going to click on it. If you're not logged in, it'll ask you to log in because you need to be a member. And then you can get in there, play around, meet people, and share information there. And so I really encourage you guys to get involved. We had a 75% increase in our Commons membership in 2022. That's very exciting. And so it's really hard when you start from the beginning, right? I mean, we're not Threads, right? I mean, goodness, we don't have 100 million in a week, but it starts small, and just like this association started small, right? And so the same thing's happening with the Commons. We've started small, and we're starting to really see a lot more activity occur. So we want to get you guys in there and really make that a robust site. Another thing I want to highlight is the LEAD program. Deb had already talked about this, but the Leadership Exploration and Development Program. Woo! I see some woo guns. Woo! That is, we are currently accepting applications for the first full cycle. We completed the beta cycle in March of this year, from August to March. You do need to apply online on our website, and the deadline is July 21st. So not this Friday, but next Friday. Please, please, please look at those dates and make sure they're all on the website. Make sure those dates work for you. Those are all the dates through the year. There is an attendance requirement, and I'm not going to tell you how many we've gotten, but it's been a lot. We can take 18. We have many-fold of that already. So please, please, please be considerate of your other members, that if you're looking at those dates and you're like, I don't know what date it is, I think it's Tuesdays, don't quote me, but I have staff meeting every Tuesdays on those days, like, you can't make it, and you're taking an extra seat from somebody, right? So please check the dates, make sure it works before you apply, because you're going to be notified really with a couple of weeks notice to get started with that orientation kickoff, because you'll see those dates on there. And we had the release of the new utilization and compensation report. We did the survey in 2021. It was released in 2022. 2022. It was released in 2023. And it's an every other year survey that we do. We had nearly 3,000 participants in this survey. It is an outsourced survey that we do. It's not something that we do as staff. We hire experts to do that. And it is a wealth of information around billing, salaries by region, by responsibility. We go over increasing what people have increased responsibilities, supervising, all the things that for you as a paralegal, when you're negotiating your next salary, this is the information you're going to want to have and be armed with because it's really good researched data. And if you're a member, how much does it cost? Anybody know? Zero. It is a member benefit. You can access it through your account. So completely free to members. We sell it to everybody else. So that is truly a member benefit for you guys. Please take advantage of it. It is great, great data. And then I wanted to talk about, I wanted to put one thing last. I want to make sure I've hit everything. We have Leanne the lawyer, who has done a skills exam preparation course for the writing piece of the exam. That was completed in June. We have the website webinar up on the website now. I was just talking about YouTube. Leanne the lawyer is somebody who's pretty famous on YouTube. A ton of people have used her to prep for the CP, and it was something she did with a laptop, and while she was in the classroom, and we were able to connect with her and do a professional video and make that available to everybody through our webinar system. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew about that because we haven't advertised it yet because, I don't know, we've had a few things going on in the last couple of weeks. So people are actually already utilizing it, but want to let you know it's out there. You're going to see some more promotion about it coming soon. And then the last thing I want to talk to you about, and this takes a little more attention, is our census initiative. So with the addition of the DEI committee and the efforts through that, they handle a lot of outward-facing communications with the members, and what the DEI committee does for us as a staff is really help us focus on understanding our members better, making sure that we are addressing their needs, understanding where gaps are, and understanding how we can do better. And if we find out, for example, our membership base isn't reflective of the full paralegal base, or perhaps even the full country based demographics, we're not just talking race, ethnicity. There's a number of characteristics and demographics that we are collecting: veteran status, disability status, education, and we want this data so we can make sure that we, as your association, are really truly reaching the paralegals that are out there. If it turns out that because we know through the Department of Labor, the statistics for paralegals, how do our members stack up, and where might be we falling short? So I'm telling you all of this because we currently have on our website, and you will see it in the newsletter that comes out on the 15th, and you'll get a personal invitation from Deb to participate in our census initiative. And what we're asking is that you go into your account. The links will all be there for you. Just open the email and follow the instructions, take you right to your account, and then you're going to answer that row of questions. Every one of them has a prefer not to answer. We don't want anybody to have to provide any information they are not comfortable providing. But if you answer all the questions, again, being able to answer, prefer not to answer, then you get entered into a drawing for Amazon gift cards. And I'm not going to tell you anymore because I want you to go to the website to learn more. Follow the email when Deb sends it. Follow the link in the newsletter. But this is our first round of this initiative is through the end of this year. So we're going to be pushing real hard for you all to participate in that because it only helps us serve you better. So we really are counting on you guys to participate in that. That is just a little sliver. I did that, didn't I? Oh, no, it's doing that down there. That's just a little sliver on the operations side of things that are going on at NALA. And I'm now going to forward my, she was showing us where you can find Leanne the lawyers. But if you go search IRAC, you go to our search feature on the website, IRAC, which is the IRAC method, you will see that skill right there, preparing for the CP skills exam using the IRAC method with Leanne the lawyer. Okay. Want to remind you, if I've spawned any questions, please be putting them in the Q&A. If you randomly had another question unrelated, please put it in the Q&A. And next, we're going to turn to, it's not showing up, but I know who it is. We're going to turn to Dina M. Waters, ACP. As I said, she's the chair of our Continuing Education Council, and she's going to share a few highlights from this year.
Hi, I'm Dina Waters. I'm from Fairbanks, Alaska, and I'm the chair of the Continuing Education Council. In addition, I'm also the program coordinator for University of Alaska Fairbanks Paralegal Studies program, and I'm on the American Association for Paralegal Education Board of Directors. So this role kind of encompasses all things education with NALA. The CEC is responsible for producing our professional journal, Facts and Findings. We have 4 issues that are published every year. We also produce the webinars that are given live throughout the year or on demand. We are also not doing the day-to-day planning for conference, but we're selecting the speakers for next year's conference. And the proposals for the 2024 conference is already open. So if there's a topic you want or a speaker that you think would be great, go to the website and submit a proposal or ask your speaker to submit a proposal. And then finally, the CEC also publishes and produces study materials for the CP exam. Because we have that wall between the certifying board and the rest of the board, we can produce the study materials while the certifying board cannot. So, any questions for the Continuing Education Committee?
Have we had any pop up yet, Tracy?
Yes, but this one goes for certified board. It's a question, I believe so.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So we have one that's for certified. Okay, so since we haven't gotten there yet, we're going to continue with our presentations. We will get to you.
So before I pass it off to Kelly,
No, Lisa is next.
oh, Lisa, okay. Before I pass it off to Lisa, I'd just encourage you, we're always looking for speakers. We're always looking for authors. You can contact me, contact NALA headquarters, and we'll do our best to get your article or seminar idea out there.
Thank you so much, Dina. Okay, we're going to next move on to Lisa Stone.
They'll turn it on.
Okay, and she is the chair. That's hard. Was the chair of the certifying board. And so she's going to give you some highlights from that now.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to, the certifying board is kind of a mystery to a lot of our members, I believe. Before I joined it, I had no idea what it was. And when I was contacted to see if I was interested in joining, I thought, well, I don't know who they are, but this sounds like a lot of fun. So I'm going to kind of give you an overview. We try not to be shrouded in mystery, but as Dina mentioned, there is a wall between the certifying board and the rest of the NALA organization, and that is to protect the integrity of the certified paralegal exam and the credentialing program. So the certifying board is responsible for the content, standards, and administration of the entire certified paralegal program, which includes the exam, all the things surrounding the certification, the CLE requirements, all of that is under the purview of the certifying board. NALA's certified paralegal program is over 45 years old, and it is the only accredited paralegal certification program. We are incredibly proud of our accreditation. It's a lot of work to maintain it, but we feel like it sets our certification program apart from the other paralegal certification programs out there. The certifying agency is the National Commission for Certifying Agencies. Since NALA began keeping statistics in 1977, and since that date, 20,898 people have been certified, which, I mean, that's almost 21,000 people. We feel like that's really amazing. So far in 2023, we've had 103 new certified paralegals join our ranks. Our certified paralegals represent all 50 states, 3 U.S. territories, and several foreign countries. The certifying board, another thing that kind of sets it apart from the other NALA committees, is that the certifying board is comprised of certified paralegals, attorneys, and paralegal educators. So we have, the attorneys and paralegal educators who devote a lot of time, volunteer time, to help, better our program. There's not much in it for them, of course, but it really shows their dedication to the certified paralegal program and the paralegal industry. So a few things we've been up to recently. Every 5 to 6 years, the certifying board conducts a job analysis survey of paralegals across the country. And so we did that last year. I think many of you hopefully responded to the job analysis survey. Those findings are used by the certifying board to ensure that our exam focuses on the skills and knowledge of today's working paralegal. And those findings are what led to the new exam specifications that will roll out at the beginning of 2024. And Vinny mentioned those earlier today. So that is something we do about every 5 to 6 years. So we did that last year. Our big focus this year is the accreditation I mentioned is up for renewal. It is a very, very large process to renew that. The application is, for lack of a better term, monstrous. And so we are spending the entire year working towards the renewal. There's lots of things the certifying board, under the management of our beloved Melody Drew, there's a lot of things that we need to address and make sure comply with the standards of the accreditation program. And so that has resulted in quite a bit of work, and we're making some changes to the certifying board to put us in a better position for the renewal of the accreditation. So one of those major changes is we have formed the Exam Development Commission. And that is where we're going to expand the use of volunteers from throughout NALA to work on different components of the exam development. So this will involve a number of volunteer subject matter experts that represent a diverse mix of experience, practice areas and job settings, geographic locations, and cultural, ethnic, and gender diversity. So what we're calling the Exam Development Commission will be broken into 4 panels. Each of those panels will be responsible for different portions of exam development. I'm not going to get into all the technical aspects of that because it's really quite dry. But this changes the way the certifying board operates. So it's a big change for us. That's a lot of our focus this year. We've been recruiting those volunteers. We're working through selection of those volunteers and forming these panels. And just to kind of add on to what Dina mentioned, the certifying board and now our volunteer exam development commission members are not involved in the development or delivery of any of the exam study or preparation materials. Likewise, the developers of those exam study materials do not have access to the exam content. That is the wall that I was mentioning earlier. And so we think we're very proud of the way NALA helps us maintain that separation that really protects the integrity of our exam. So that is all I have to talk about, just as some background. So
Thank
questions?
you so much, Lisa. We're going to do questions all at the end. So again, please be getting your Excuse me. Please get your questions in so we can be sure we have those at the end to answer. Okay. Next, we have Kelly Elder, ACP, who is the chair of the Professional Development Committee.
Thank you. I'm Kelly Elder, and I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm the chair of the Professional Development Committee, or the PDC, just to add another acronym out there. As the name suggests, the Professional Development Committee encompasses anything to do with professional development, which is a lot, because as professionals, I think we're all, we're here to gain knowledge and develop skills. So everything we work on really encompasses a lot of different areas, and from a student's clear till retirement, all throughout your career, there's plenty of ways that we all can develop. So just a couple of things that the PDC is responsible for. A couple of the core documents within NALA. We are responsible for maintaining the NALA Code of Ethics and Professional Responsibility. And as a member, we all agree to follow those canons, which we went over some of those in the ethics session this morning. So hopefully you're familiar with those. So it's the PDC's responsibility to review those and make sure all those canons are relevant to what we're doing, because it's really at the core of what we do. A second document that PDC is responsible for maintaining is the NALA Model Standards and Guidelines for Utilization of Paralegals. So the purpose of the model standards is to provide references to the existing case law and other authorities that serve as a basis upon which conduct of a paralegal may be analyzed as proper or improper. So again, very important to our profession to make sure that we're doing the things we should do and not doing the things we shouldn't do. So again, it's the responsibility of the PDC to make sure that all of those references and citations are relevant to what we're doing, and we all keep our eyes and ears open for any new developments related to the utilization of paralegals, because as everything, our profession evolves over time too, so we got to make sure that we stay on top of any of those developments. We also, the PDC committee, we come up with articles for the professional development standing column in facts and findings, each one of those issues. And then we also gather all the articles that are put together in a career issue publication. And again, those articles span from, anything from a student to retirement, anything in between, anything to do with professional development. And then I just wanted to highlight a couple of the exciting projects that we work on, because again, anything related to professional development, the PDC is involved with. We recently collaborated and NALA published a document that's the Paralegal Core Competencies. And that document encompasses a combination of necessary knowledge, skills, and attributes that we feel are essential for achieving success in the paralegal profession. So we're really proud of this document. We spent a lot of time developing it, and I think it's something that can be used by us as paralegals, as employers, attorneys, educators, anybody that wants to know what is it that makes a paralegal successful, what skills, what attributes do we have. So it's a really great reference document that I think can be used in many ways. And then another thing we were really excited to work on, kind of developing the vision and the model for NALA's new leadership program, LEAD, which is Leadership Exploration and Development. This is a really fun project to work on and is going to be very instrumental in helping develop new leaders for NALA. So we're very excited to work on that, and those were a couple of the projects that we just worked on. And working on the PDC is really fun. So it's very rewarding to be involved in projects related to professional development and to serve on the committee. It's a really rewarding experience. So I really encourage anybody to get involved if that's something that sounds interesting to you.
Thank you, Kelly, so much. Okay, we have one more presenter because you all already heard from Deb this morning at the annual meeting. So be thinking about the things she shared as well, and if you have any questions about that. But we're going to turn now to Christine Custodio Suero, ACP. And she is the chair of our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee and a brand new board member. Pretty exciting. Thank you, members. Yes.
Yes, thank you, members.
So, Christine, take it away.
Thank you so much, Benny. And first, I want to say thank you to all of you for being here and investing in yourselves and your leadership journey here with us as partners at NALA. I, again, am Christine Custodio Suero, and I am the chair of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, which was formed in 2020. So this is the newest committee of NALA. And what we really are dedicated to is strengthening, monitoring, and addressing issues under the scope of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And just to add another acronym, because you know us legal folks love our acronyms, we refer to this as the DEI Committee. And it has been an absolutely incredible experience. And I credit this to our leadership, the folks like Deb Overstreet, who prioritize issues such as DEI within our membership. And so since 2020, since the original, I think, committee was formed, including Bianca Greer, who was on, I think, that very first committee, who was one of your elected officers, really researching and working to address some of the issues that we may find as potentially, interesting for the DEI space, including, and this thanks to Deb again, she teamed up with the Dallas Area Paralegal Association at one of their conferences and came to find out about a male paralegal perspective webinar that they had curated and hosted just last month. And that's actually something that we don't talk about in our industry very much, right? Male paralegals, how about that? And I see so many here, which is terrific. So, just having things like that and on our radar really helps us to be inclusive as an organization. And that is something that is a priority to the leadership of this organization. And I'm not just saying that as the DEI chair. I've actually been volunteering with NALA for, I don't even know, almost a decade, and in different capacities. And this has been...
You're saying longer.
Possibly longer? I don't know. I lose track of time. But we really welcome input from our membership. Deb is a phenomenal leader and very inclusive. I actually told her when she asked me to serve as the chair of this committee, I said, you have been one of the most inclusive, warm, inviting, leader of this organization. And that is something that really resonated with me, and I thought, gosh, how can we do more of that? Mm-hmm. And how can we provide training to us, us legal folks, because something that we learned about in the DEI committee, the data for legal professionals or people who are, and forgive me, I don't really like this term, but non-lawyers, right? We don't call nurses non-doctors, but non-lawyers, the data is really sparse out there for us. And, and I'm just going to plug again what Vinny said earlier about that, the census data project that we have going on. Please do go on there and update that information, not just because, we give you prizes or whatever, because we really value your input and your feedback. So some of the things that we have been working on this year, and a shout out to the incredible committee members who are kind of rolling off our committee this year, Sarah Duggan out from South Carolina and Ed Diaz from Arizona. These have been incredible, hardworking members providing, research for the articles that we publish monthly. Have you all received that? Have you received the emails with these online articles that address some DEI issues that are of interest to us?
15th of every single month.
Yes. And they're posted on the website. And by the way, because we are a very transparent organization and we want you to find the information, you can find who are the leaders of these committees and who are your elected officers on our website. You saw it earlier up on the screen, nala.org. Under the About tab, if you navigate there, under Leadership, you can find all of our information. Please do contact us. I promise we respond. We will respond. And we look forward to your input and feedback. With that said, we do have a roundtable session. Deb talked about that earlier. We have them both days, Thursday and Friday during your lunch hour. The DEI committee is hosting a roundtable, and Bianca is going to be part of that, and also Adrienne Berry, who was also on the committee for the DEI committee in past years. So that is our roundtable that will be hosted on Thursday during the lunch hour. Please come. please do come and talk to us. Your voice matters. We want to hear directly from you what you want to learn about so that we can curate and program the content of your learning experience, your learning journey, your leadership journey with NALA appropriately. We want you to let us know what is important to you. What are your priorities? So please do come and attend that. Some of the projects that we've worked on this year, and the ones I'm really going to focus on, include the NALA Talks videos. Who all has seen those? Have you been on the YouTube channel? If not, please go on YouTube, and like Benny said earlier, just, in the search bar, type in NALA the Para, and it comes up. The YouTube channel comes up. But there are 2 videos right now that are posted on behalf of the DEI committee. The first one, episode 1, and this is, as Deb said earlier, is a micro learning series. So we really try to, coordinate and develop content that is under 30 minutes. So a quick learning opportunity for you about these topics in DEI. So the first one was on access to justice. Have you heard of that before? Access to justice? There's a huge crisis happening across this country on access to justice issues. So we actually interviewed Michael Holberg from the Institute for the American Association of the Legal System, right? ILS.
American legal system.
American legal system. And he talked to us about what does access to justice look like in this country, and what are we doing to problem solve that? So please do check that out. The second episode that we put out is on social justice. And we interviewed 2 paralegals, one from, I believe it was Michigan, right? That was Cheryl Nodarse's lead, right? Lizzie Saylor. And then thank you, Deb, for Sarah Steely, right? She was out of Alabama. And so we interviewed these criminal defense paralegals who worked on projects such as the Innocence Project. Have you all heard of that? Now known as the Innocence Clinics. To use DNA to exonerate criminally accused defendants to access justice and to be released from prison because they were wrongfully convicted. So we interviewed those 2 folks, and they kind of shared with us about what they do in that space and why they do their jobs, as paralegals in criminal defense work. The next episode that I think we are going to be filming is for LGBTQ allyship. How do we do our jobs better as legal professionals so that we provide adequate representation, right, for everyone, including our LGBTQ friends and clients, right? So, and then the last one we're going to focus on this year, so we're doing 1 a quarter. The 4th episode will be on neurodivergence. That may be a new term to some of you. Some people who fall under the scope of neurodivergence include people who are autistic. So we are going to be talking to subject matter experts on that particular topic so that we can learn more about that and enhance our practice. The last thing I wanted to talk about too is how do you get involved with these committees? Because we're all like, please, come see us, come talk to us. Let us know your thoughts. So on the website, again, nala.org, and it's gonna come up here on the screen, there is at the very bottom, right, Deb? On the very bottom of the web page? Oh, okay.
Coming up
you wanna go
on
ahead
the
and
screen.
I'll get us involved in this. I think they're going to bring it up. You go to the NALA website, and in the upper right, you'll see all on the black bar, you'll see About. Click the About button, and then you'll see Get Involved.
It's that simple.
Very easy. And then when you scroll down, this has information about the conference. It had all the information about the people who are running for the positions this year. But when you go to the very bottom of that, there is a place to see the application and get involved. We do need those applications. Please, if you are interested in providing a voice for the NALA paralegals and paralegals across the country, we encourage you to send your application in. There are some questions on here that we'll talk about in a minute, but there's lots of information on this one.
There's
Get
lots of
involved.
ways to get involved. I think that's what we're trying to say.
But we would love, there's the application, you click that, and we need these applications. I know there's so many of you that we see in person at affiliated association events and here at NALA conference, but in order for us to track what your interests are, what type of qualities you have that would help with each of these committees and for task forces. We have developed on into task forces within committees, and that it's sometimes you are a certified paralegal, you're advanced certified. could be an educator or a student. So we're looking for this information and appreciate it if you would send it into the website and then we contact you. And thank you for doing that. And we try to see where we can fit you into the perfect spot to make you shine in your abilities with the Paralegal Association.
Thank you so much, Deb. So I've been peeking a little bit. I've seen questions coming in, and I see Tracy squinting, ready to maybe get ready to give us some questions. Are we ready? What's that? I've got them. Oh, Tracy's going to pull them up on the screen so everybody can see them, including our folks across the country.
There are a lot of diverse ones about all different topics.
Yep. Bring them on. We're ready. There we go. Are there any plans to add additional ACP categories? Wow, what a great question. Kelly?
Yes. So I don't have any specifics, but the PDC is looking at the ACP program.
Soup to nuts.
As a whole, and seeing, what can we do? What do we need added? What do we need updated? Making sure the ACP courses are at an advanced level. So it is definitely something that we are working on. We have a task force that is working on this and assigned to this, and they're actively working on it. So hopefully this is going to be a long process looking through that whole ACP program. It's a big project, but definitely something that is on our radar and we're actively working on. So,
and they have been tasked with bringing a full proposal of how we will implement our new ACP process to the fall board meeting in November. So that is something that is to be discussed at the board meeting this fall. So we are going to be moving forward. We know it's going to take us a little time to get to the finish line, but we are going to keep taking those steps forward. Oh, Deb, did you like to add something? There it is. It's on.
Now it's on. On the advanced certified paralegal programs, the one thing to remember is this is a long process. When you are developing a new ACP credential, we want it to be correct. We don't want to just shove something out there and say, okay, here's a new ACP. We want it to be thorough. We want it to be advanced. So please be patient with us. We are working hard to develop that part of the program even further than where we are now.
Okay. Next question. I am planning to take the knowledge exam. Number one, congratulations. Before the end of to take it before the end of the year. When I take the skills exam sometime next year, will the current fundamentals book be sufficient for me to study? Since 2024 will have a new exam format. What a fantastic question. And Dina, I believe that's going to be in your camp.
All right. Well, the fundamental skills, or the CP fundamentals book is a great starting point. But there are so many resources out available to you, namely our on-demand webinars. If you're able to take any of the CP tracked courses that we have on demand, Leanne the lawyer is going to help you write your skills exam. And if you're interested in looking for free resources, I would caution you to be diligent in your research, because not all those resources accurately reflect what NALA wants you to know in the CP exam. So if it's not produced and published by NALA, it is not endorsed by NALA. So,
and if I could address the second part, or are you going to? Okay, the second part of that question that I think I understood was the skills exam being changed as well. I think that was another piece of that question. So yes, indeed, the skills exam has also been revamped based on the job analysis survey that the certifying board did. All that information again is on our website under certification. It's all there, the old one, the new one. On the skills exam, The topics did not change. It was simply a changing of how the scoring worked based on a number of factors that the certifying board considered. So it's still the same like rubric, like metrics that we're going to be that they're going to be using to grade, but the amount of points you get for each one has shifted. Is that a good way to describe that? Okay. And then Deb, did you want to add something else to that?
I just wanted to also include one way to study for the exam is today and tomorrow and Friday through the CP track here at conference.
That's one of the really best ways to get that core fundamental stuff. Okay. Do we have another question? Can you please let me know where the current volunteer opportunities are and where I can find them on the website? Okay, we did show you where to say I want to volunteer, but I think the question is a little more specific. Do you have a list of volunteer opportunities? We do not have it because they come up all the time. There's short ones, there are long ones. We have task force, we have working groups, we have committees when you're more engaged. So honestly, we don't list all the volunteer opportunities. What we do is when we are entering into a project that involves a lot of volunteers, I don't know, for example, creating new study materials for bankruptcy for the new CP exam, that's where we would make like a big broad call out. We would put it in the newsletter. Please go to the website and see these volunteer opportunities. I did that with the roundtables. If you saw those emails from us about volunteering for the roundtable. So we do and will continue to reach out when we have certain volunteer kind of group opportunities. But I really encourage you, please, if you're interested in getting involved, please fill out the form as best as you can, even if you're not quite sure what you want to do. And we will follow up with you, and then we will have a conversation. Most likely you'll talk with Deb, and she will talk with you about what you're interested in doing to serve in a volunteer role. So that's the first part of the process. So no, we do not have like an ongoing list on the website, and I hope that makes sense why we do not. But if you get your name in there, then we know what you're interested in. Things come up and we go, oh, I know the perfect volunteer for this. So, did you want to add anything to that, then?
As to the question also included, is there anything that's going to change in like our CP exam prep course to include that portion on the bankruptcy that's been added?
That was on the previous question?
Yes.
Okay, so on the previous question, anything that's going to be added for bankruptcy. So, indeed, we are adding a chapter on bankruptcy in the CP fundamentals. Thank you. That's like a really important thing to tell y'all. So, and we have a working group. We have about 32 different volunteers working on this project to create a fantastic chapter, an overview chapter, to ensure that you understand the core fundamentals of the bankruptcy section. And that will be out this fall. So it will be ready for those who are preparing to take it in January. It will be out this fall, and it will be included in the next edition of the CP Fundamentals. Until we print new fundamentals, which we think the timing is going to be perfect, that it's going to roll right into the next one. But if by chance we have additional materials, older materials, we will absolutely be doing an addendum that will go with any books that we sell so that you have that additional chapter until we exhaust the supply we have. Obviously, as a nonprofit, I mean, these are your dollars. We're not throwing books away, and we're going to definitely make sure we utilize them, but make sure you get all the same information that everybody else gets. Thanks, Deb. Thank you. Next one. Do you have to be a CP to volunteer for the CEC? I think I'm going to ask Deb to answer that one.
And yes, on the standing committees, as part of the requirements is that you have a certified paralegal designation. You don't have to be an ACP, but you do have to be a certified paralegal. Now, for task forces, for volunteer opportunities, working groups, you do not. It depends on what we're looking for in the specialty. If we're looking at for the ACP working group or the task force, yes, we that's going to be a requirement. But for most of the other type of working groups and task force, no, that's not a requirement.
Thank you so much. Next question. Okay, is it safe to assume that the topic of bankruptcy won't be in the 2023 knowledge exam? It's completely safe. I was going to be, I was like, wait, can I say that? Yes, it's completely safe to say the topic of bankruptcy in and of itself. I'm assuming there might be questions in which some bankruptcy case might be mentioned while they're talking about some other piece of law, possibly, but the current, the 2023, all the way through 2023, that section, that bankruptcy is not part of the exam. So if you take it by December 31st, you don't have to do the bankruptcy part. A little inside tip. Next question. Did anybody want to add to that? Okay, great, thank you. I have a specialization I'd love to let more paralegals know about. How can I share that? Can I write an article for Facts and Findings, give a CLE webinar, and Dina?
Yes, please do. We're always interested in sharing new subject matter knowledge. If you're in a unique or niche area of the law, we want to share it with every member. And even better, we'd like to share it in a live format with a webinar.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Oh, we have a question from the audience. I'm allowing one. Moving forward, we got to put it in the app, but please give me your answer. I will put it in the mic.
I just wanted to follow up on the CPA examination requirement.
Okay.
So I think
I will repeat the question.
I think we're trying to go with those questions, and that's actually something I would want to know too. Is if they take the CP exam, the knowledge portion this year, before the end of the year, but you don't take the skill set test till next year, will bankruptcy potentially affect the skill set test?
That's an excellent question. Excellent question. The skills exam, as it has been explained just in the general way to everybody, it is an exam of your critical thinking. They're not asking you to know certain case laws necessarily. Everything is provided to you for the case, any law regulations you would need to utilize to then make your memo, your memo to your attorney. In essence, that's what you're replicating. So to the best, to my knowledge, and I can't ask Lisa because she's not allowed to say, and I've never seen it, so I can tell you based on what we as the education side of the organization, is that there's no specific knowledge pieces. It is that critical thinking, that writing piece that they're doing in the skills exam, because you've already done that on the knowledge side.
So pretty much the faster what you need is going to be provided for you on the exam.
Yes. Yes. Because again, it's your critical thinking and writing and that IRAC method, right? Great question. What's that? Leanne the lawyer, we have a webinar for you. Okay, next question. What is the difference between LEAP and the new leadership program? Who wants to take this one? There's a number who could take it. Kelly's going to answer this from the PDC side.
Well, maybe you can talk a little bit more about LEAP.
I think that would be great.
Start with that?
Yeah, I think that'd be lovely. You want me to do that? Or Debbie. Deb, I would love for you to do it, Deb.
Because there's some of us here that have taken LEAP, which was the initial one. Look how many in this room. That's awesome. And the LEAP program was leadership enhancement and preparation. That was for leadership within NALA. It taught you all about NALA, how the organization formed, how it's governed. It also gave you some additional professional development skills. You learned how to work with groups. It had the different types of hats program that we had. We did presentations as well. So that was really geared around how NALA could look at new leaders, which then we decided is very important when we go into lead. And do you want to talk about that part? how we
And
develop.
actually, I can touch a little bit on why LEAP actually sunsetted before moving to the next, just because I think people are curious about that. It was just at that point, the capacity of staff and the volunteers that we had at the time, it was an awful lot that was put on the shoulders of volunteers. And I see people, I think, who've taken it. It was an awful lot. And our volunteers are amazing. But they aren't leadership professionals. Y'all are paralegals, right? You may have excellent leadership skills, but you're not someone who's a subject matter expert in it. And so because of the burden on the volunteers, which then also added burden on the staff, and the fact that we were doing it with just our membership base, it was something that really just could not continue at its current capacity. But when it shut down, everybody wanted it back, which I totally get. So it took us a minute to really find out how we really could introduce that type of program at the highest quality that we want to be able to deliver through NALA and that we can sustain. And so we were fortunate enough to be able to bid out to leadership development programs and consultants to then help us develop the program and, most important, deliver the program. So, because that's really where a lot of that time came. So, the Matisse Group is who we are working with, and that's who led the first lead, the beta group, and they are going to continue with us through this next cycle and the next cycle. We've already contracted with them for two more cycles. So that's why we closed it down and then wanted Kelly to be able to talk about how it's different.
Yeah, so I wasn't involved with LEAP, but I did have the opportunity to help develop kind of the vision for this new leadership program. And I also was part of the beta group that went through this first year. It was very well received by all of the beta testers. And many of them did go through LEAP, so they had that kind of experience behind them. To help make this new program even better. And it's a really great experience. You go through it with a cohort, you have homework, and then there's a great presentation by Matisse, and a lot of collaboration, discussion, and you really grow, not only as yourself, but you learn from one another. So, sometimes the best experience is hearing someone else's perspective on any number of topics that you go through. And so it really does help, grow yourself as a leader in all aspects of leadership. So it really is a great way to prepare yourself to be in a leadership position if you want to be, or, even just, as a working professional, to develop those skills. So it's a really great program, and we're really excited to roll this out.
Okay, next question. Going back to the ACP, I love this narrative. Going back to the ACP review, who can we provide some comments to about our experiences with the ACP program and some things we'd like to see? Thanks. I love that question too. Who can they reach out to, Kelly?
They can reach out to the PDC. We'd love to get all comments, suggestions, everything as we're going through this process. We'd love to hear any and all feedback. So we want to make sure that we're very thoughtful and thorough about, rolling out any new APC topics and programs. So we definitely want all the feedback that we can get.
So Kelly Elder, as our chair, is in the app. Kelly Elder, and you can find her in the app, and you can communicate directly with her right now, and so she can follow up with you. Anything else you'd like to add about that, ACP?
Well, and her email is also on the NALA website,
and
under her director's picture.
Exactly. So on the website, we also have all the board of directors emails as well, plus mine. You can always reach out to me too. Okay, next question. Do I complete the volunteer form if I want to write an article or do a webinar? Dina? These are such great questions, you guys. I feel like my staff wrote these. I'm just kidding. They're that good. That's what I'm saying is that they're almost leading. I love it.
So, no, you do not need to fill out the volunteer form to write an article. Simply review the article submission guidelines on the website, and then you can submit your article to editor@nala.org.
That is also on the website, on
or
CEC.
to me directly, and we'll make sure that it gets to our awesome staff, who will do any revisions or tweakings that are necessary for style guidelines, and then you'll be a published author.
Awesome. Do we have another question, Tracy? She's getting it. Is there a digital version of facts and findings? If so, where can I find it? God, another great question. Okay, so right now you can find all of your issues of facts and findings in your account on the NALA website. I am not going to tell you right now how to do that because there are a few steps, and I really don't want to confuse everybody because I can't show it up here and demonstrate. But what I would like you to do is either reach out to nalanet@nala.org or call us, 918-587-6828. And you can ask, any questions that you have. I just lost my train on the facts and findings, so you can ask them how you can then access your facts and findings. Once you learn it the first time, you can get to it every time. It's just a little tricky the way you get through the account, but once you get there, you'll figure it out and you'll have access to them all the time. So yes, that is one way that you can get them, that is how you can get them digitally. Okay? No, I know we have more. It's just a few steps. And I say that lightly. How do you choose which city the annual conference will be held in? It would be great if you came to Atlanta, Georgia, wouldn't it be? Actually, that is a decision that is made at the staff level, and we take a number of things into consideration. I'm going to list just a handful. This is not everything we take into consideration. However, it does have to do with where we've been in the past, trying to hit all time zones. It has to do with how expensive the city is, what rates we can get at hotels, when we do site visits with hotels, how good is their staff, because they have to be as good as our staff. So, there's a number of things we take into consideration, but that is a decision that's made at headquarters. I'm always open to hearing ideas. You can throw them at me all the time. I will take them seriously. I will explore. If you really have a great idea for a conference area, not just because you live there, but it's like, because of this convention center or this great attraction, I just think this would be such a great city to come to. Even if it is your own city, just tell me why. But that is a decision that we make on the staff, and we have decided our 2026 city, which is Denver. And so the next one will be 2027. So you know what? I think I'm going to put Atlanta on my list to make sure that I do all the analytics that I can to see if that's a city that we could hold it in.
And I just want to say that the Denver decision, that's Vinnie's very first one for NALA that she has had the opportunity to make that decision.
Yes, yeah, because Atlantic City was not canceled, moved to 2025 because of COVID. Louisville was moved to next year, so 2026 is the first one that I've gotten to pick, so that's exciting. Okay, does NALA endorse any educational programs through universities, or are these unaffiliated exam prep classes? Wow, these are such great questions. Yeah. Okay, does anybody want to field this one? I can. Why don't you start? Okay, I'll start, and then you jump in, Dina. Okay, so we do not endorse or accredit any programs. However, if you are eager to help people prep for the CP exam, we are eager to help you do that. We don't endorse, accredit any programs, but we do promote programs. If you're a nonprofit, if you're an affiliation, if you're a public university, those types of programs, we're more than glad to promote those through a number of avenues. I'm not going to list them here because that's getting a little in the weeds, but if you are eager to partner or collaborate with us in any way about how you want to promote your own program, your own CP program, please reach out to us. You can reach out to me directly on those things. You can reach out to Melody on those things. I want to make sure I'm actually hitting all the points through or these. Okay, so I think a second piece of that question is unaffiliated exam prep classes. And I want to address that because we don't endorse any specific programs. We really don't even endorse our own in any way because we do not pretend that that fundamental book is the end-all be-all, everything you need to know to pass the exam. That book is to be used for you to review as a professional and say, ooh, I'm a little light on this. I don't remember this piece. I need to study that a little bit more. Or I'm breezing through this section. I feel pretty confident in my knowledge around these pieces. But you should not rely on NALA 100% for your educational sources because this is a professional certification. It is not a book exam. It's not a class. It is something that's taking into account your entire life, your education, your experiences, your successes, your failures, your training. I mean, everything that has gotten you to be where you are as a paralegal, all of that is what's being really tested because what we're doing is we're testing for those core competencies that we have, the core competencies that the PDC's made, the competencies that were outlined through the job analysis survey. So the whole point is that you walk out with that stamp saying, I have met those core competencies. I can demonstrate that. I have demonstrated that. And your employer knows that you have passed that rigorous exam. Who here has taken the exam? Was it easy? No. It's rigorous. It is a professional accredited certification. It is no joke. But I'm telling you, when you get it, you feel so proud and you know you've got that under your belt and that is with you forever. Well, sorry, for 5 years, then you have to renew. But you can't keep it forever if you renew every 5 years until you retire. And for those who might be close to retirement with your CP, I want to make sure you do understand you can retire as a CP. So you can be CP retired. And what that means, if you ever get back into the field, you can kind of, I'm simply putting it, but you can go through a few steps and kind of sort of step back in where you were, as opposed to having to retake the entire exam. So that's one reason you really want to get that retired piece, because you never know, you might pop back into the field. You never know. So that's just another piece I thought was important to share. Anything else you want to share?
Yeah. Well, I'll echo what Vinny said. You know, this is not an exam where you just read a book and you're able to pass it. The exam is designed to take your existing knowledge and expertise and apply it to new fact situations. So that's how we can test your critical thinking and reasoning and legal analysis. Now, if you're looking for study groups or review courses, I would recommend first reaching out to your local association. A lot of them have CP review courses. If they're not able to offer a course, they'll at least be able to suggest somebody that might be doing that, such as an educational institution. Some institutions have not really partnered, but have worked with NALA to develop CP review courses. College of the Canyons in California is one of them.
Example.
And if you are a California resident, that CP review course is free.
Zero.
And then other education institutions may also have, CP review courses embedded in their courses or as a standalone course or a professional non-credit course. And if you can't find anything to help you study for the exam, contact NALA and we'll do our best to try to get you connected with a group or get you set up to start leading your own study group.
Excellent. Thank you, Dina. Anybody want to add to that? Okay. Yes, Bianca, please. I will repeat what she says.
I would also recommend speaking to your affiliated association if you're a member.
Thank you.
And see if they can also put together a CP review course for its members.
So what Bianca was suggesting, who is a former affiliated associations director, so she knows what she's talking about, she suggests you reach out to your local affiliated association. Number one, find out what they're doing, and if they're not doing prep courses, maybe you can get involved with helping them start to deliver those. One distinction I want to make, just as I was thinking here, when we talk about approving an educational course or something like that, like I said, we don't do that. But I do want to make clear we do approve CLEs. So we do approve that, yes, this course qualifies for a CLE, whether it's substantive, non-substantive, ethics. So we do approve individual CLEs, but we don't approve any other programs like that. Just want to make that clear. Okay. If you attend the CP review and you have to leave early for one of the other presentations because of the time overlap, do you still earn the credit? I'm going to answer the quick way, and then of course I have to elaborate. No, you get the credit for what you watch. So if you're half an hour in one, you're going to be and you're half an hour in another, you're going to get 2 half-hour credits for those sessions. I do know that we have these staggered this year. Something a little bit different we tried. I'm not going to tell you all the reasons we did it, but there were a lot of reasons why we just chose to do it this way. But there are going to be some overlaps where you're going to have to be, just like if there's two you want to take at the same time, you have to pick one. So it's a similar sort of strategy as you build your schedule to help, maybe pop into one of the CPs if you're mostly doing the others, or pop into one of the others if you're mostly doing CP. But no, it is truly by the number of minutes your eyeballs are on the screen, or that you have it open for in the hub, the platform, and then when you beep in, if you're here in person, you can only get credit for the first thing that you're in, and it shuts down after 15 minutes. Thank you, Tracy. And so you can't come in after 15 minutes and get credit. So those are the two things, virtual and in person, because I don't know where that question came from. And yes, there is also, thank you, Tracy. I should have thought of that immediately. There is also the on-demand bundle that you get. If you're in person, again, you get it for free. So download it. We don't, so just download it. When you do, it looks like you're buying it, but it'll be $0 when you get there. So don't keep going through the process. And if you're virtual, you get a significant discount off of that bundle. It all by itself, the bundle's, I think, like $575. But if you did virtual, then I think it's like $300 less. I think it's like $200 to add to get the bundle. Don't quote me, it's all on the website. But I just want to make sure you had those as well. Yes, please.
I did have something else. I had someone ask if they're here today or if they're virtual and they have the bundle, when they watch it later, can they get CLE credit?
Excellent question. You can only get CLE credit for one particular session once. So if you attended it here and then you go back home and you watch it again, you're not going to get credit the second time because it's the exact same material. Although you can. I mean, if you loved it or you missed something, or you can still re-watch that. So I just want to make sure you have full access to all the materials, but you only get credit for watching it once. Great question. Oh, did
As
I
a
not
follow-up,
answer the right? Okay.
if they want to watch a separate one that they weren't able to get while they were here or on virtual for this week,
Yes.
will they get credit?
So anything that you did not do in person or already even on the platform, any of the sessions you didn't do this week as part of the live presentation, if you take the other ones that you couldn't attend in the bundle, you get credit for all of that. So you're getting 40 hours of CLEs at the end of this conference, no matter how many you took, not earning them, you have access to. And you're not earning them, I'm sorry, you have access to 40 hours of material. And that includes the CP review, it includes all the regular courses we're starting to say, and so, including the ethics courses that we had. So there's just so many ways to get all the information that we have here for you this week. Thanks, Deb. That was a great question. If we have another. Do you all work with local bar associations to educate attorneys in the proper utilization of paralegals? Oh, Angel, come on down, right? Okay, who would like to answer that? So the question is about whether we work with local bar associations. That's one part of the question I think that we should address. But then the second being helping attorneys understand how to best utilize paralegals. I feel like Christine might be able to talk on this one.
Well, yes, we do, first. But we have several resources, and Vinny mentioned this earlier, which is the Compensation Utilization Survey. Also, the ABA publishes, and Dina knows about this too, we are both paralegal educators and advocates for students and access to promotion of paralegals and how to properly utilize paralegals. So yes, we will. And Vinny, correct me if I'm wrong, NALA also goes to bar conferences and provides education for attorneys on how to properly use paralegals.
Absolutely. So we as staff go to a number of conferences that are law related, but our board and other volunteers go to a number of expos and conferences as well on behalf of NALA. And that's, again, another way to get engaged. And then we're kind of, putting out the forces, right? And we're getting all that information out there that we get and then we can push out. And so, yes, the bar associations is one set of the groups that we are eager to be involved with. And I can tell you, that we are involved with and we want to get even more involved with. So if you have interesting, kooky ideas of a partnership for NALA with a company, whether it's for-profit, nonprofit, educational, please send them our way. There's going to be no harm in that. I love to talk to people that want to partner with NALA. And it's so fun because you find that win-win. And so please send them our way. And absolutely, we will. Dina.
And speaking of partnerships, one really successful partnership NALA has had in the recent past was with the American Association for Paralegal Education. We presented at their national conference last year. We're going to present again in October. And then also our school relations task force. One of the things we want to do, as well as providing information for educators and students, is to provide education for attorneys on how they can best utilize our knowledge and expertise.
Did you want to mention the roundtable on Friday?
Yes, and we will be having a school relations roundtable on Friday.
During the lunch break from 1 to 2. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, we've got 11 minutes, it looks like.
I have a lot of questions.
Yes. Uh-oh, we have a blank screen. I can see one down here. Should I read the next one? Oh,
What happened? Oh, there we go.
is it, I've taken what's it start with?
Mirror checkbox.
On your screen? Okay. She's going to keep working on pulling it up, but I've taken the CP classes in the 2020 virtual conference. Can I take them again this year and get credit? Yes. They're different courses taught, even if it's by the same person, it's a year later, and that course is going to be different because it's delivered live, and absolutely, if you're refreshing knowledge, that counts as well. Okay.
I enjoy taking the CP courses while I'm here. I've been a paralegal a long time. And it's always nice to go back and refresh and cement that information in your mind on the procedures.
And I know you're going to tell me that you bump into people, younger paralegals, and really, can help connect with them and, be, that trailblazer for other paralegals coming behind you and really being a good mentor too. And that's a good way to connect with younger paralegals. Michelle, do you have the app or can you?
No, I'm just saying, in regards to that,
Uh-huh.
I'm doing a new area of law, I'm doing estate planning and trust.
Perfect.
So this is a great little segue for me to kind of get, a little more information if I need.
So the comment here from Michelle is that she said she's changed practice areas or has enhanced into a new practice area, and the CP review course is a really great way to learn the basics of a new practice area. Absolutely. Great idea. Anything else? Okay. Tracy, are we good? Okay. Is there a time frame from the time that you obtain the CP designation before you can volunteer? Debbie? No. As soon as you get your CP, please come on, we want you.
So I'll say a little bit more about that, but because there's so many times where I'm a good example that I was in the field for a long time before I decided to go in and take the certification. So there's a lot of knowledge that many of you have from being out in the profession for a long time that you can really help all of these committees and task force with. And on the flip side, as a new certified paralegal from being a student, you give fresh ideas and see the current things that are happening out in the field. So we love to have volunteers from all aspects.
Yep. Thank you. Tracy, do we have another one?
Sorry, I was answering one question.
Oh. We don't multitask. How do you find out if you have a local affiliated association in your area? Wow. So we, number one, have an elected position that's the affiliated associations director, who not only is the lead volunteer with supporting our affiliated associations, but is also a member of the board by virtue of that position. So that person is very tied in to what's happening at the policy level and at the programming level. Bridget Stewart is just completing her time. Later today, we will be announcing the new affiliated associations director because we did have a contested election this year. We'll also be announcing the new affiliated associations secretary. But that's your go-to place. On the website, right across that bar again, you see affiliates. It's one of the main things. If you click on that, you're going to find the leadership team. You're going to have their emails. You're also going to have the staff contacts to reach out to. So that's one way. And if you're not interested in reaching out to somebody, go to our website under affiliates, and you will. And at the bottom, you scroll down, hit that plus sign, and you'll see all the affiliates that are NALA affiliated associations. And I think Bridget's wanting to maybe add something.
I was going to mention what you just said.
Perfect. Okay. Anything we want to add? Okay. Any more questions? Great. This looks like it's gonna pan out perfectly time-wise. I just said that, now everybody's gonna go ask a bunch of questions. Is it super excited about Denver? Okay, super excited about Denver. Keep working on it. Oh, there we go. That is so close to me. Debbie, did you serve on various volunteer committees before being on the board? Just wondering how to work my way up to being on the board. Thanks. That is a wonderful question.
That is a great question, yes. I served not only with NALA, I've served on my state and local paralegal associations. Before becoming involved with NALA, I did some presentations at NALA conferences, and then I took LEAP and realized that's the path I would like to go, is into leadership. And so I volunteered with that. I ran for office, affiliated association secretary, then director. I then ran for the treasurer. I didn't win. on that one. So don't give up because it does. But then that led me over.
Of board members who ran multiple times before they were elected.
And so from there, I was part of the Professional Development Committee. And that on that part, I served and helped a lot with the LEAP program. And after that, I ran for a position on the board. Again, I was one of the directors, and I also continued to help with the Professional Development Committee on LEAP. So I did a dual thing there, and which was so much fun, then continued up the board. So it is a process. It's all of the different committees, the task forces, the volunteer programs help you learn how NALA operates and learns how the board is created, the type of goals that we have, the strategic plan, the mission, and how it all works together. And so I really encourage everyone to volunteer, to apply for the new LEAD program. You will learn so much about NALA and about yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you, Deb. Is there an online, I should have known that, is there an online study group for NALA members? And I'm going to guess studying for the CP. I'm going to assume that. Yes, there is. Well, it's not NALA members, but it's through NALA's Facebook page. We have a CP exam prep page. It is a community page again. It's not staff answering questions for you. It's within your community. Anybody can join. You do have to. I mean, we do approve you. I shouldn't say that. Not everybody can join. We do approve people to join that because we don't want spammers and, we want the group to be clean and tight and serve your needs. But we do ask a couple of basic questions just to ensure that indeed you are prepping for the exam and that you belong in this group. Other than that, we're not judging who can be in the group. So that's a Facebook group. Also on Commons, once again, that's the collaborative site that we have that's strictly for NALA members. We have CP study groups in there and CP study oh, they're called groups there too. Yeah, it's called a group. So that's another place that you can find that online community. Anybody else have any great ideas of online support like that? Okay. I am seeing we have literally 2 minutes. And again, it's almost like we're on TV. It's very truly, we have to start and end on time. So I'm really going to try to answer one more question if we have one. And if we didn't get to your questions, we see them here. We will try to follow up with you if you had your name on there. But please, if it's a burning question, email our membership team, call us, nalanet@nala.org, 918-587-6828. Would you mind to show again where we find the Preparing for the Exam through IRAC on the website? I missed that. Tracy's going to do that for you. Fabulous.
All right, so basically you go to education.
So go to education. And then you have options here on education. And then you have a search bar for education. We suggest you just do IRAC because we know that brings up 2 specific courses, and only one of them is the one you can tell is the IRAC course. And there it is. And if you scroll down, please, you can see all the information. All of our webinars are obviously set up this way with information about the presenter, all that information, and you can register right there. Okay. I think that is all the time we have. If we really truly did miss something, if you're here, flag one of us down. If you're not, email or call us. And I think we're concluded. And Debbie, do you have any final remarks you'd like to make?
I want to thank you all for participating, both here and virtually. She said, if you have any questions, if you're here in person, she said, grab one of us. We'll be glad to help you out, answer any questions we can. And the NAL staff is always available. They are wonderful. You can email, call. I love just give them a call. Or if you're in Oklahoma, you can go to
We answer the phone. We answer the phone. And if you get our voicemail, we really truly are doing something else. We will call you back. So
Leave a message.
And we answer your emails. Please let us know. And I want to just close with one thing that as the CEO of an organization, I cannot tell you how honored and pleased I am to be able to serve this board and all the boards that I've had here at NALA. I walked into a highly functioning board. I cannot say that about all my previous positions. This is the most highly functioning board I have actually, frankly, ever worked for. And I have been the CEO at 6 or 7 different nonprofits over my 35 years. And so that is a testament to you as members, because you get engaged, you get involved, you care about what's happening with your association and with your members. And that's what shows on this stage right here. These are dedicated people who really care about you, care about the profession. And I thank you guys for that. It's an honor to work for you guys. But I also want to say it would be an honor for you guys to serve on the board, serve in a committee, serve as a volunteer, because you will walk into an awesome team of people who are ready to tackle problems and provide new resources and just reach new heights. So that's just the final thing I wanted to say. So. Next, we have a break right outside here on the 4th floor. It is 4:32. We did pretty darn good. The Affiliated Associations annual meeting is here at 5. That is 28 minutes from now. And then after that, we will have the affiliate showcase and reception, which is it's right there, but you got to go around that way to in the Staffordshire room here. No. It's downstairs. Thank you. I see hands going, no, you're wrong. It's downstairs, 3rd floor. It's right there on the on the slide. 3rd floor, Staffordshire room. That's the reception at 7. But first, come back here at 5 for the Affiliated Association's annual meeting and awards. Thank you so much. Okay.